When love becomes self-destruction. Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever been in love so deep that you started questioning your own reality? Like, am I really overreacting? Was that actually my fault? Maybe I am too much. If yes, don't worry. You're not crazy. You're just experiencing a kind of love nobody warns us about. Because when love turns self-destructive, it doesn't show up wearing a villain costume. It shows up wearing romance. It starts beautifully. Late-night conversations. Inside jokes that feel sacred. That one person who suddenly feels like home. You think, this is it. This is the connection everyone talks about. And slowly, without noticing, you begin adjusting. At first, it's cute. You reply faster. You cancel plans because you'd rather talk to them. You laugh at jokes that aren't that funny, but hey, love makes comedians out of everyone. Then come the compromises. You stop sharing certain thoughts. You avoid certain topics. You choose peace over honesty. But what you don't realize is, you're choosing silence over yourself. One day you catch yourself rehearsing a simple sentence like, "Hey, that hurt me." You practice it in your head 20 times. You imagine their reaction. You predict the argument. You already feel tired, before even speaking. So you don't say it. And that's when love quietly becomes a cage. Self-destructive love makes you believe that love is supposed to hurt. That if it's painful, it must be deep. That if you're struggling, it means you care more. Romantic movies didn't help either, by the way. They taught us that chaos equals passion and suffering equals loyalty. But let's be honest. If love constantly gives you anxiety, if you feel lonely inside the relationship, if your self-esteem drops the longer you stay, that's not passion. That's emotional erosion. You start blaming yourself for things that aren't your responsibility. Their mood. Your fault. Their silence. You must have done something. Their lack of effort. Maybe you didn't love them enough. So you try harder. You overgive. You overexplain. You overstay. You become the understanding one. The patient one. The low-maintenance one. Congratulations, you've just emotionally adopted an adult. And the wild part. They get used to it. Your effort becomes expected. Your sacrifices become invisible. Your pain becomes inconvenient. And you keep telling yourself, they don't mean it. They're just stressed. They'll change. That word, change, has trapped more people than love ever has. Here's something no one likes to admit. Sometimes we don't stay because of love. We stay because leaving feels like failure. We stay because we've invested time, emotions, memories. We stay because starting over sounds exhausting. We stay because we're scared that being alone will hurt more than staying. But slowly, staying starts costing you your peace. You stop recognizing yourself. You're quieter, more guarded, less joyful. People ask, "Are you okay?" And you say, "Yeah, just tired." But it's not sleep tired. It's soul tired. Self-destructive love drains you so gradually that you don't notice until you're empty. And yet, you still defend them. You explain their behavior better than they ever do. You protect their image while yours falls apart. You give them grace while giving yourself criticism. That's not love. That's self-abandonment. Let's add a little humor because pain hits harder when we laugh at it. Self-destructive love is like your phone battery being at 1%. And instead of charging it, you're charging someone else's phone. And then they complain your phone died. Healthy love doesn't do that. Healthy love feels calm. It feels safe. It doesn't make you afraid to speak. It doesn't punish honesty. It doesn't require you to lose yourself to keep someone else. And listen carefully. Loving someone deeply does not mean tolerating disrespect deeply. You can love someone and still walk away. You can miss someone and still know they weren't good for you. You can care and still choose yourself. Walking away doesn't mean you didn't love enough. It means you finally loved yourself enough. The moment love asks you to shrink, suffer, or stay silent just to survive, that's the moment it stops being love. So if this story feels personal, if it feels like someone secretly read your mind, take this as your reminder. You are not difficult to love. You are not too emotional. You are not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. Love should feel like peace, not a problem to solve. It should feel like home, not a battlefield. And maybe the most powerful love story you'll ever live is the one where you finally choose yourself. When love becomes self-destruction. Have you ever loved someone so much that you forgot where you went? Like, one day you wake up and think, wait, since when do I hate pizza, love chaos, and apologize for things I didn't even do? Yeah. That kind of love. At first, it never looks dangerous. It looks romantic. It looks like late-night texts, butterflies, and that feeling of finally, someone gets me. You start making small sacrifices. Skipping a hangout. Ignoring a red flag or two, because hey, nobody's perfect, right? But slowly, love stops feeling like support and starts feeling like survival. You begin walking on eggshells. You rehearse conversations in your head like you're preparing for a court case. You think twice before laughing too loud, speaking honestly, or being yourself. And the scariest part, you don't even notice it happening. Because self-destructive love doesn't scream. It whispers. It says, if I try harder, they'll change. If I stay quiet, we'll be happy. If I lose a little more of myself, this will finally work. So you give more, and more, and more, until one day, you realize the relationship is full. But you are empty. Let's be real for a second. Love is not supposed to feel like a full-time unpaid internship where you're constantly proving your worth. If love were a job, this one would have 0 salary, 0 weekends, and your boss would still be unhappy. Think about it. Healthy love adds to your life. It doesn't replace it. But self-destructive love slowly convinces you that your needs are too much. Your emotions are too sensitive. And your boundaries are selfish. So you start shrinking. You stop saying what bothers you because it's not worth the fight. You stop asking for effort because you don't want to seem needy. You stop expecting basic respect and call it maturity. That's not maturity. That's emotional exhaustion with good manners. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes we don't stay because of love. We stay because of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of starting over. Fear that this might be the best we'll ever get. So we hold on tighter. Even when it's hurting us. It's like holding a cactus and saying, it's fine, I'm just sensitive. No. It's a cactus. It hurts. Love should feel safe. Not like you're constantly about to be abandoned, blamed, or misunderstood. And listen, loving someone deeply doesn't mean sacrificing your mental health. It doesn't mean becoming their emotional punching bag. And it definitely doesn't mean losing your identity just to keep them comfortable. Real love doesn't ask you to disappear. Here's how you know love is turning self-destructive. You're always tired, but you can't explain why. You feel anxious instead of excited. You miss the old version of yourself, the one who laughed freely and slept peacefully. And yet, you still say, but I love them. Love alone is not enough. You can love someone and still need to walk away. You can care deeply and still choose yourself. You can miss someone and admit they weren't good for you. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It's survival. The moment love requires you to break yourself just to keep it alive. That's the moment it stops being love. So if this feels a little too familiar, here's your reminder. You are not hard to love. You are not asking for too much. And you don't need to destroy yourself to deserve affection. Love should feel like coming home. Not like losing yourself on the way. And maybe, just maybe, the love you've been giving away so freely is the love you've needed for yourself all along.